What if I told you the next Eagles superstar is already on the roster and most fans don't even see it coming? What if the future of this defense, this season, this entire Super Bowl window hinges on one position battle happening right now, in the heat of summer, deep in the grind of training camp? This isn't just about who's fast, who's strong, or who looks good in a jersey. This is about legacy. This is about pressure. This is about young players being thrown into the fire and either rising up as Philly legends or getting exposed under the spotlight. Buckle up, Eagles Nation, because what's happening behind the scenes could decide whether we soar or fall. Philadelphia's offseason practices, those early moments before the real grind begins, have already given us so much to think about. We've seen flashes of greatness, we've seen players struggling, and we've seen a few names pop up who might just become the next big stars in midnight green. Training camp is almost here, and for Eagles fans, that means two big questions are front and center every single summer. First, how do the stars look? Is Jalen Hurts healthy and improving? Can Saquon Barkley bring that same fire he had in 2024? Does the offense look sharp under Nick Sirianni and Kellen Moore? Is Jalen Carter turning into an unstoppable force on defense? These are our headline names, and every snap they take matters. Second, who's about to break out? Which young or unknown players are playing like stars? Which backups are about to become starters? Which future household names are being built right now out of sight? And don't forget, last year at this time, we had similar questions. Back then, Nolan Smith was seen as a disappointment from his rookie year, and then he exploded in year two. Jokes Hunt? People said he was a reach in the draft from a no-name school. He proved everyone wrong. Zach Bond? Signed to be just a special teamer. Ended the year as an all-pro linebacker. Then there was Quinnen and Cooper DeJean, both rookies at the time, both playing like seasoned pros by the time the Eagles were hoisting the Lombardi. So here we are again, standing in front of the unknown, with camp only weeks away, and wondering, who's next? Let's talk linebackers, because with Nakobe Dean's return from injury still uncertain, this group becomes absolutely critical. Right now, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. looks like the favorite to start alongside Zach Bond. But Jahad Campbell could return to full practice by early August. And don't forget about Smail Mondon, who quietly impressed during OTAs. All three of these guys are young, all of them are hungry, and all of them are fighting for the same chance. But here's the thing, this isn't just about who plays well, it's about who can replace Nakobe Dean, even temporarily, because Bond thrived in Vic Fangio's defense last season because he had Dean next to him. Together, they shut down the middle of the field. They confused quarterbacks. They brought swagger to the heart of the defense. Now, whoever wins this job has two options: step up, become a star, and help keep this defense elite, struggle, and become the weak link that every offense targets. That's real pressure. That's a make-or-break moment. Right now, Trotter Jr. has the edge. He's healthy, he knows the system, but don't count out Campbell or Mondon. Both have the raw talent to surprise everyone. This is the battle that could shape the entire Eagles defense. Because no matter how good our secondary is, or how dominant our pass rush can be, if the middle is weak, we're exposed. And if that doesn't get your blood pumping for camp, wait until you hear about the one hole on offense that still hasn't been filled. What happens when a single player holds the keys to the entire offense? And no one's talking about him. Eagles Nation, we're standing on the edge of a brand new season. And two names, yes, just two, could decide if we dominate or disappoint in 2025. One is an untested guard stepping into massive shoes. The other, a former no-name now rising like a tidal wave through the league. If these two rise, Philly flies. But if they fall, everything could come crashing down. Buckle up! This is make or break, and we're breaking it all down. Let's talk about the trenches, because championships are built from the inside out. And right now, there's a brand new spotlight shining on Philadelphia's offensive line. Last season, we had a major concern heading into camp, a hole at right guard. But Mike Becton stepped in and didn't just play well. He was great. He sealed up that weakness, helped the run game explode, and protected Jalen Hurts like a wall of steel. But the Chargers noticed. They opened their wallets and stole Becton away this offseason with a huge deal. Now, there's a new hole in the wall, and everyone is watching Tyler Steen. Right now, Steen is the favorite to win that job. He was drafted out of Alabama back in the 3rd round, and the Eagles have been grooming him ever since. They've been patient. They've been preparing him for this exact moment. But now, it's time. He has to step up. No more waiting. Because if he struggles, if he's not ready, that one weak spot on the right side becomes a flashing target for every defensive coordinator in the NFL. They'll send pressure, they'll plug up run lanes, and they'll do everything they can to hit Jalen Hurts fast. And let's be real, if Tyler Steen doesn't deliver, it's not just about blocking. The entire offense could suffer. Saquon Barkley might lose running lanes, defenders might get free hits on Hurts, and the Eagles might have to rotate guards, constantly searching for someone who can hold the line. And that creates chaos. But if Steen does step up, if he plays with confidence and power like he's capable of, then this Eagles offense becomes a nightmare once again. Big plays, clean pockets, deep bombs to A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. And another monster season could be on the way. So, yeah, Tyler Steen is a true make-or-break candidate in 2025. If he shines, he could earn a massive contract extension as early as this offseason. The Eagles like to pay guys early, and Steen could be the next in line. Now let's flip to the other side of the ball, because defensively, there's a breakout star coming, and his name is about to be everywhere. Meet Moro Ojomo. If you haven't heard the name yet, write it down, because Moro is not just a breakout candidate for the Eagles. He might be the breakout defensive tackle for the entire NFL in 2025. Here's the crazy part. He was a 7th-round pick. No big headlines, no fanfare. But over the past year, he's gone from fighting to make the team to one of the most impressive backups on the entire roster. He's already being called Philly's next Milton Williams, the kind of player every other fan base wishes they had. And here's why. Even though he was behind Jalen Carter and Milton Williams on the depth chart, Moro still made an impact. In third down situations, when he got his chance, he showed out. He had an 18% pass rush win rate. That's third best in the entire NFL among defensive tackles. He didn't record a sack last season, but that's not the full story. Watch the tape. He was constantly getting pressure, forcing bad throws and collapsing pockets. With more playing time, those pressures will turn into sacks. And when that happens, Ojomo's name is going to explode. But that's not all. Moro isn't just a pass rusher. He's shown serious strength against the run. In one play, he literally threw Washington's Sam Cosmi, a solid guard, to the ground like it was nothing. He's got real power, and that's what makes him so exciting. This is the kind of freak athlete that can change games. Fans went wild when the Eagles landed Jalen Carter at pick 9 in the 2023 draft. But now, 2 years later, we might be looking at a second star from that same draft class. And he came from the 7th round. So now the question is, can Moro Ojomo take the leap and become a full-time starter? Can he help take pressure off Jalen Carter and force teams to pick their poison? If he does, the Eagles' defensive line will be absolutely terrifying. All right, Eagles Nation, time to sound off. How confident are you in Tyler Steen holding that offensive line together? Do you believe Moro Ojomo is about to explode and become a star? Drop your predictions in the comments and don't hold back. This is our team. This is our year. Let's talk about it. What happens when a rising star becomes the star overnight? When expectations skyrocket so high, even greatness might not be enough? Eagles Nation, the pressure in Philly isn't just heavy, it's historic. One young phenom is now the face of the defense, while another 7th-round surprise is quietly turning into a monster in the trenches. But what if they don't live up to the hype? What if the future of the team depends on them rising or falling? This is the kind of pressure that breaks players or builds legends, and we're about to find out who's who. Let's start with the man who might become the Eagles' next defensive star. Moro Ojomo. We already talked about how good he looked last season, even with limited playing time. But here's what makes his story even more exciting. Howie Roseman didn't just grab Ojomo in the 7th round and call it a steal. He took it a step further. Howie's not just planning for now, he's building for the future. He saw Moro's potential early on, and now he's just months away from proving to the world he's a true starting defensive tackle in the NFL. But this team, this organization, they didn't make it easy for Ojomo. They didn't just hand him the keys. They challenged him. They brought in someone to push him, a rookie that's already turning heads. Ty Robinson. Fans and analysts are calling him the Vanilla Gorilla, and the word from OTAs is clear. The hype is real. Defensive coordinator Vic Fangio has never been afraid to play the best guy. It doesn't matter if you're a rookie or a vet. If Ty outplays Ojomo in camp, he's getting snaps. Period. So now Moro has a decision to make. Step up and dominate, or lose his shot to a hungry new challenger. But here's the good news. Philly's got options. Even if Morrow doesn't take that leap, the Eagles won't fall apart. They've got depth, they've got competition, and they've got a plan. But if Morrow does become that monster in the middle, then buckle up, because that defensive line is about to become unstoppable. Now let's talk about the secondary, because this is where things get really interesting. Everyone's watching Sidney Brown, and rightfully so. He's healthy now. He was drafted to be a starter. He's had time in the system, and he's in a battle with rookie Andrew Mukuba, who was taken with a higher draft pick and has shown serious promise. Sidney is a classic make-or-break player. Either he locks down that starting safety job or the coaching staff moves on. But the real pressure? It's not on Sidney. It's on Cooper DeJean. Now hold on, this might sound crazy. Cooper DeJean isn't struggling. In fact, he's already a fan favorite. But that's the thing. The expectations around DeJean are massive. Maybe bigger than anyone else on this roster. Maybe more than all the other breakout candidates combined. Remember where he started? Quiet preseason. Barely played until week 6. No hype, no big headlines. Just a young kid waiting for his chance. But when he got that chance, he exploded. The fourth quarter hit on Jamar Chase? Legendary. The suplex tackle on Derrick Henry? Unreal. And the moment that made him a superstar? That pick 6 off Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. That play wasn't just a highlight, it was history. And just like that, Cooper DeJean became a household name, not just in Philly, but across the entire NFL. But now comes the hard part. Year 2. Because everything's changed. Now he's not a surprise, he's a star. And with that comes pressure like you wouldn't believe. Every game, every play, every snap, fans and coaches expect greatness. No more flying under the radar. Everyone's watching now, and anything less than elite will feel like a step back. So yes, Cooper DeJean is under pressure, maybe more than anyone else on the roster. And that pressure can do 2 things. It can crack you, or it can turn you into a legend. Now it's your turn. Eagles fans, do you think Moro Ojomo is ready to become the next big thing? Will Cooper DeJean handle the pressure and take his game to the next level? Let's talk in the comments. I want your bold predictions. Who's breaking out? Who's breaking down? And who's carrying this defense into the future? Smash that like if you believe in Philly's new generation, and subscribe for nonstop Eagles content all season long. Eagles Nation, imagine this. One young star's sophomore season could make or break our entire secondary. One breakout receiver could unlock the deadliest offense in football. One misstep at running back could derail our Super Bowl run. The pressure? It's unreal. But that's what happens when you're this close to greatness. Every move, every snap, every player, it all matters. The future of the Eagles isn't just about talent. It's about who can handle the heat. And this season, that heat is coming fast. Let's talk about the weight sitting on the shoulders of Cooper DeJean. Last season, he had help all around him. Darius Slay, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, and others who could patch up mistakes and cover for weaknesses. That's no longer the case. In 2025, the support system is thinner. His safety partners? Exciting but unproven. Reed Blankenship and second-year Quinan Mbaye are full of potential, but the rest of the secondary? Wide open. So what happens if Cooper DeJean doesn't play like the star we all believe he is? What if he hits that dreaded sophomore slump? The truth is simple. If Cooper struggles, the entire secondary could collapse. And suddenly, that strong, confident Philly defense we love could start leaking yards and giving up big plays. That's how critical his role has become. But here's the flip side. If DeJean takes everything he did right in 2024 and gets even just 10% better, this defense transforms into a nightmare for any quarterback. He has the chance to be more than a great player. He could be a legend. Think Troy Polamalu, think Ed Reed, think of those names that everyone in football knows. That's the level Cooper is aiming for. That's the kind of pressure he's under. But if anyone can carry it, it's him. Now, let's talk about some other make-or-break players heading into 2025. Guys you might not be hearing about yet, but you will if they rise up. Jaden Dotson, the forgotten weapon? Word out of training camp is that Jaden Dotson is having one of the best off seasons on the roster. Remember, he was traded here to give us depth. But what if he becomes more than that? Picture this. Dotson running crisp routes against a defense's 4th best cornerback, while defenses are too busy trying to contain A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, and Dallas Goedert. If Jalen Hurts starts trusting Dotson, watch out. This offense might be impossible to cover. Keely Ringo, boom or bust? Then we've got Keely Ringo, a talented corner with big expectations. Can he finally live up to the hype? Ringo doesn't need to be a superstar. He doesn't even need to be amazing. He just can't be bad. If he becomes a liability, fans will lose patience fast. But if he plays solid, mistake-free football, we'll all love him. The Dylan Dilemma. Let's shift to running back. We all know Saquon Barkley's the guy, but let's be real. Philly wants to keep him fresh. That means fewer touches, and that means A.J. Dillon and rookie Will Shipley need to be ready every single time their number is called. If Saquon misses even a few games, these two are going to need to carry the load, and in Philly, that pressure is no joke. Here's the bottom line. The Eagles are loaded. Everybody knows it. The talent is there. The system is built. The expectations are sky high. But in the NFL, it's a year-to-year league. And for every starter we lost this offseason, there's a young, hungry player waiting for their shot. If they deliver, if these make-or-break players rise up, this team might only lose 2 or 3 games all season. That's how good they could be. But if they don't, if they fall short, the Eagles will still win. They'll still be dangerous. But the road to the Super Bowl will get a whole lot harder, especially with this brutal schedule. Now it's your turn, Eagles fans. Who's your top make-or-break player for 2025? Who's going to surprise us all? Who's going to fold under pressure? Let me know in the comments right now. Smash that like button if you believe this is the Eagles' year. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a moment of the 2025 journey. This team is built for something special, but only if the right players rise when it matters most.